Hello, sports fans. This is the Bookmaker Podcast with Art Eftekhari, a.k.a. Mr. Bookmaker, your source for the sports betting industry 24/7. Sit back, relax, and listen as Mr. Bookmaker highlights what's happening right now in the world of sports. So, without further ado, here's your host, Art Eftekhari.
Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to another edition of the Bookmaker Podcast. I'm your host, Art Eftekhari. Really glad that you can join us. Before we get started, get to our website as soon as you can, bookmakerinfo.com. That's www.bookmaker-info.com. You know the routine. We got the links to all the best European, Asian, and United States-friendly bookmaker sites, and our bookmaker guide is available for you to download it. So stop wasting time. Hurry up and download it. I want you to become an expert at this entire online betting process. Now, before we get to our A to Z sports betting lingo, make sure you check out our blogs. Patrick knows his American sports, and Dan is the man for cricket. And of course, make sure you check out my blog, the Mr. Bookmaker football blog, or soccer, depending on where you are in the world. Now, for our A to Z sports betting lingo, what is our concept for today? Well, our concept is turf accountant. All right, now what is a turf accountant? Well, it is not a person who keeps track of the amount of fake grass that has been sold. Anyways, I'll move past my cheesy jokes. So a turf accountant is a UK term for a bookmaker. So go ahead and just use them interchangeably. Maybe you have your favorite bookmaker, maybe you have your favorite turf accountant. Either way, don't forget, the concept for today is turf accountant. All right, let's get to our main agenda right now. Recently, on the 17th of December, the round of 16 draw was held for the 2018-2019 edition of UEFA Champions League. So for those of you hardcore football fans who really just love supporting their favorite club team and hope for that joyous occasion, well, let's go over these matchups as the knockout phase will begin in February. Some of these games, some of the first legs will be played on the 13th of February, others on the 20th, 19th, even one of them on the 12th. So, never mind the dates, let's just get right to it. First, you got Schalke against Manchester City. A good matchup here of a German team going up against Man City, a team that's been one of the best in England lately. Next, Atletico Madrid against Juventus. Now, this is one really worth paying attention to because Atletico Madrid has always had trouble getting past Real Madrid. So, yes, they're not playing against Real Madrid here, but Ronaldo, of course, Cristiano Ronaldo plays for Juventus, so this is one to really keep an eye on. Next, Manchester United versus Paris Saint-Germain. Wow. So for those Man U fans, this is going to be a tough one. Next, Tottenham Hotspur against Borussia Dortmund. Oh man, you really got to like where these matchups are going. You also have Lyon of France against Barcelona. Then you got Roma of Italy against Porto of Portugal. So you're not really seeing that many Portuguese teams in the knockout phase in recent years of Champions League. Then you got Ajax of Amsterdam going up against the defending champions, Real Madrid. So for those diehard Ajax fans, all I could say is just hope for the best and park the bus. And last but not least, Liverpool, last year's runners-up against German giants Bayern Munich. So like I said, some excellent matchups here, and I'll be sharing some interesting wagers from William Hill. That address is williamhill.com. Now, before we get to those wagers, make sure you get to our website as soon as you can. You know the address, bookmakerinfo.com. That's www.bookmaker-info.com. Like I've said before, our bookmaker guide is available for you to download, so hurry up and download it. Stop wasting time. We also have steps on how to register, bet, and withdraw. And like I've said before, our A to Z sports betting lingo is there to help you sound like an expert as you become accustomed to mastering this process of online bookmaking. All right, so let's get back to our main agenda here. Yes, I'm at William Hill, one of my favorite bookies. That's www.williamhill.com. Let's see what wagers are available for UEFA Champions League. Look for the hashtag #YourOdds. First one with 23 to 20 odds. Manchester City or Barcelona to win UEFA Champions League. All right, now that's an interesting one. Of course, you also have to remember, after each round, there is a random draw. There's not a fixed bracket, so sometimes these are the risky ones to place a wager on. But let's face it, if you think it's going to be Man City or Barcelona, well, these two teams really have a good chance of winning. And of course, Barcelona badly would like to win one. Last time Barcelona won Champions League was when Real Madrid didn't. That was in 2015 when Barca defeated Juventus in the final. So the last three Champions League finals, all three of them won by Real Madrid. So I'm hoping, please, I would like to see another team win this tournament. All right, let's move on now to the next one. How about 11-8 odds for any English team to win the Champions League? All right, let's take a look at those English teams. You got Manchester City, they'll be facing Schalke in the round of 16. Man U against Paris Saint-Germain. Tottenham will play Borussia Dortmund. Liverpool will play Bayern Munich. Out of these teams, sometimes you have to wonder, is it possible for any of these English teams, is it possible for all these English teams to be eliminated in the round of 16, or do you think they're all going to go to the quarterfinals? It's going to be really tough, though. We'll see. How about Liverpool to reach the semifinals? 2-1 odds there. Liverpool fans and, of course, the Liverpool team still hurting after how things went against Real Madrid in that last final. You just have to wonder over and over, how different would things have been if Mohamed Salah had not been injured by Sergio Ramos? And yes, I did just say that very clearly. Next one, also with 2-1 odds, a Spanish club to win this edition of UEFA Champions League. Well, who are those Spanish teams? Well, we got three of them, Barcelona, Real Madrid, and Atletico Madrid. And if Atletico Madrid is able to make it to the final, they will be the home team, as the final match will be played at the Wanda Metropolitano Stadium. So that would be quite an accomplishment if they can make it to the final. But first, they need to get past Juventus, and that will not be easy. Next, with 10-3 odds, PSG, Spurs, Liverpool, and Man City all to reach the quarterfinals. Definitely an interesting one. PSG would be playing against Man U, Spurs against Borussia Dortmund, Liverpool against Bayern, and Man City against Schalke. So, if you think all four of those teams will get to the quarters, 10-3 odds. Next one, with 13-2 odds, Real Madrid or Atletico Madrid to win this edition of the UEFA Champions League. So maybe you feel like, trusting the Madrid powerhouse football clubs. Not a bad choice, to be honest. Next one, with 12-1 odds, how about all four English teams to qualify for the quarterfinals? Once again, those four English teams, Man City, Man U, Tottenham, and Liverpool. Next, 14-1 odds, and these wagers are getting really entertaining. Man City to play Liverpool in the 2018-2019 final of UEFA Champions League. Once again, 14-1 odds. What a final that would be. You really got to love those finals where it's two teams from the same country. And we have seen those, a few times. Last time we saw that was Real against Atletico. That was in the 2016 edition. They also played in the 2014 edition. And there was also that time back in 2013 when Bayern and Borussia Dortmund went at it at Wembley Stadium. So these ones are always really entertaining. Like I said, that one was 14-1 odds for Man City to play Liverpool in the Champions League final. Next, 35-1 odds. No English club to qualify for the UEFA Champions League quarterfinals. All right, that could be, some would say that's a tough one because, I would just say that Manchester City should get past Schalke without any problems. But look, Man U will have trouble with PSG, Tottenham will have trouble with Borussia Dortmund, and Liverpool, of course, going against Bayern, that's not going to be a walk in the park. And last but not least, 40-1 odds. No Spanish club to qualify for the UEFA Champions League quarterfinals. Really? Do we really expect Ajax to beat Real? Do we expect Lyon to beat Barca? And it is very possible for Juventus to beat Atletico Madrid. But like I just said, 40-1 odds for no Spanish club to qualify for the quarterfinals of UEFA Champions League. All right, everybody, so once again, make sure you get to William Hill as soon as you can. That's www.williamhill.com. And we are just about ready to wrap up this edition of the Bookmaker Podcast. But before we do, it's time to check out a wager for those of you Game of Thrones junkies. So who will rule the Seven Kingdoms at the end of the final TV episode of Game of Thrones? If you think it'll be Brian If you think it'll be Bran Stark, 11-10, 4-1 for Jon Snow, 4-1 also for Daenerys Targaryen, 8-1 for Sansa Stark, 9-1 for Cersei Lannister, 10-1 for Tyrion Lannister. Maybe you think it'll be an upset with these 100-1 possibilities for Gilly, Melisandre, Jaqen H'ghar, Theon Greyjoy, Yara Greyjoy, or Brienne of Tarth. So don't forget, get to William Hill as soon as you can. That's www.williamhill.com. And that's it, everybody, for this edition of the Bookmaker Podcast. Really do appreciate the support. Make sure you check out Dan's cricket blog and Patrick's American sports blog. They are working hard. And also make sure you check out my blog, the Mr. Bookmaker Football blog. Tons of updates regarding upcoming Euro 2020 qualifying for all 10 groups. And you also have previews available for the 6 groups of the 2019 Asian Cup that is set to kick off in early January in the United Arab Emirates. Thank you, everybody, for the support, and we'll see you next time on the Bookmaker Podcast.
This has been the Bookmaker Podcast with Art Eftekhari, a.k.a. Mr. Bookmaker. Thanks for listening. If you haven't already, please show some love by subscribing to this podcast on iTunes or Stitcher. Till next time, this is Mr. Bookmaker over and out.